Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about the GoPro Hero 11 and why I decided not to get it. Basically, I think it's a huge disappointment and I would not recommend anyone to get it. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Tom and this is my camera channel where I talk about cameras and lenses. If you're into that, consider subscribing. If you want to help out a small YouTuber, consider hitting that like button as well. Okay, so I have the GoPro Hero 10 and for my money's worth, this is a great action camera. This is a great vlogging camera. It's pocket friendly. You got your front facing screen and you got 4K 120 frames per second. You can shoot at 5.3K if you want to. The image quality is okay. It's not great, but it's totally fine. The onboard microphone is fantastic. And then they came out with the GoPro Hero 11. Now, personally, I was hugely disappointed with the GoPro Hero 11 for a couple of reasons. I think that I was having really high expectations of what they would be releasing. I was sort of thinking that they would release more of a pro version of the GoPro or something, maybe something with a bigger sensor, but they didn't. Like, basically, if I look at the specs of the new GoPro Hero 11, it has, 10-bit color, some ultra-wide gimmick thing, which honestly doesn't look that good in my eyes at least. I just don't think there was a lot of upgrade compared to the GoPro Hero 10. Now, I think that the GoPro Hero 10 was a huge upgrade over the 9 because of the addition of 4K 120 frames per second. Now, the 4K 120 frames per second is not gorgeous 4K. It actually doesn't look very good, even in really, really good daylight, but it is 4K. It definitely looks better than 1080p, and it is 120 frames per second, which is fantastic. And I've been saying that it's going to take a while for me to upgrade the GoPro Hero 10 because I think it's perfect for what it does. And so I've been thinking a lot about, I was so disappointed with the GoPro Hero 11, but what would I want in the GoPro Hero 12? Like, what would be the thing that would get me to upgrade my GoPro? Would it be 8K recording? Honestly, at this point, no, it would not. Would it be 4K 240 frames per second? No. I think 120 frames per second is good enough. The thing that I think that the GoPro needs to improve a lot is actually the image quality. Like, I love the idea of GoPro. The image stabilization is fantastic and is a cool little camera, but the image quality is just lacking, especially in situations where you have less light. Like, the low light performance is not good at all. And it doesn't really matter if they increase the resolution. It's just not going to look as good as something from a smartphone, which is where I want this thing to go. Like, not that you'll be able to make phone calls with it, but the image quality. I'd like this sensor to be a bit better. I'd like it to handle low light better, things like that. Like, here's a tip for GoPro if you're watching this video. The thing that will, if you're wondering why the GoPro Hero 11 didn't sell as many units as the 10 or the 9, it's because the upgrades we wanted weren't there. The upgrades we want is better image quality, not faster, slow motion or higher resolution, just better image quality, more bitrate, more natural sharpness. And the only way I think you can do it is by making the sensor a bit bigger, do something like a Sony ZV-1, for example. The Sony ZV-1 has a 1-inch sensor. Imagine having it in this camera, it would be awesome. And I would even go as far as to say it's that important that you can make this thing a little bit better, better obviously, but bigger, something like the Sony ZV-1. That would be something interesting. Like, I would love for GoPro to release a GoPro Hero 12 Pro and make it look like this. Something with a bigger sensor, but still have that amazing image stabilization. Now, the bigger the sensor, the more difficult it is to get good image stabilization. But I happen to think that GoPro is in the right spot in the industry to make it happen. So that's what I want from the GoPro Hero 12. I want something that's better in terms of image quality and something in terms of low light performance. That's where I think the GoPro needs to go. Now, The image stabilization on a GoPro is electronical, it's software, but it's not optical. And it's not the sensor that's moving and shifting and stuff like that. It's just electronical, and it's using the gyro data and stuff like that. And it works if you have something like a tiny sensor like this thing, but I really think that you need to get a bigger sensor and put in some sensor movement or optical stabilization, something like that, and you'll get there. And that's what would make me upgrade. Honestly, I'm telling you straight, if the GoPro Hero 12 pretty much only gets something like 8K and or 4K, 240 frames per second, I'm not gonna get it. It's not interesting to me. I want better image quality. There, I've said it enough. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the GoPro Hero 11 and the upcoming GoPro Hero 12. Let me know in the comment section what you think. What would get you to buy the next GoPro? I'll see you in the next one. Take care.